Season 4, episode 1. I've been chasing you for like a year to get you on this podcast.
Just a year.
Finally. What the hell?
Man, I'm a hard man to get.
El-Hachem.
Hashem.
El-Hachem, welcome.
Thank
Stories
you.
Unlocked.
Thank you. Ari, love you, man. Love your work. Happy to be here. Great podcast. And yeah, let's get it on.
So it's 9 a.m. It's a Friday morning. We've always interviewed people after 6 p.m., but you were unavailable. Kids, the rest of it.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure.
4 kids at home.
I'm
Soccer,
you've
tutoring. It's all happening.
You've still taken time out of your day, and thank you for that. And in saying that, let's get straight into it. Run us back as far as you can remember. Little Charlie Hachem in the Hachem family. What was it like growing up?
I love how it's like Hashem. Like it's like some, you're saying it like a Greek. Yeah?
I'm trying to get on your level, man.
Hashem.
Hashem.
There you go. Love it.
Hashem.
Yeah. So little Charlie Hashem.
Little Charlie Hashem.
Yeah. So my earliest memory, and it's probably cliche, was actually running around my mum and dad's takeaway store, and that was in Alexandria. And funny enough, it was called Cheeky Donut. And this is my dad, probably 2 to 3 years straight from Lebanon. He came in as a refugee because during Lebanon there was that civil war. And he worked in a couple of factories. Dad overseas had some really great jobs. He was working in airlines. He was in catering. He also did a bit of on the plane. You know, not air host, the male version of the air hostess. So he's had a really cool, strong hospitality career. And then when he came to Australia, he didn't like working for other people. You know, those early jobs were in factories, glass factories. So he found this little business, and it was called Cheeky Donut. And like, it was like, I still remember it. The logo was this like little cheeky donut with sexy legs, and like this Middle Eastern man from the middle of nowhere just comes in and is, giving it a go.
So did he create, or he walked into that?
He walked into it. So he bought essentially a business that went broke. And then, he just gave it all. And from that, he just created something really strong, really thriving. But back in those early days, everyone that came here from Lebanon thought they would go back to Lebanon. So Dad did well. He made a bit of money from the business. Then he went back to Lebanon, and his families were still, struggling because of the war and everything. So he gave them a lot of the money, and he thought he would stay there. And then essentially he came back with nothing again. So he had to start again. So that's when he started working for other people in franchises, and that's how we started in the franchise game.
Let's run it back even further. Where were your grandparents from?
Lebanon.
Whereabouts?
So down south. So not south, like near Beirut. So it's called Gia.
Gia?
Yeah, in Damur. So they're near the beach, near the water.
Nice.
Fun-loving people.
Awesome. Beautiful.
Sun-kissed. But the funny thing is, and this is really funny, in my family, all the women end up being doctors or lawyers or, really smart, and all the men end up in hospitality.
There you go.
It's like, I don't know if you guys watch Simpsons. There's like, you got Marge and Lisa and they're geniuses, and you got Bart and Homer in the bottom headbutting each other.
Yeah, okay.
That's kind of the running joke in our family.
There you go. And what did your grandparents do back in Lebanon?
So my grandfather was in small business as well.
Okay.
Fruit shops. So he started a little cafe, and my grandma was just, pretty much raising the village as they do back in the day. So it was like the patriarch of the village. Like everyone used to come and talk to her. Very strong woman.
There you go. And where'd your parents meet?
They actually they were childhood friends.
Okay, from Lebanon?
Or from Lebanon.
Oh, wow.
And then they reconnected here, and they got married within a month.
Wow. So how'd your dad come here? Was that a boat or a plane?
So he came on a plane. So he's not that old.
Okay.
You know my dad. He's going to be upset with that comment.
Okay, listen. My dad just went from Greece to Sydney, all right, by boat. Like,
on the boat, big boat or the small boat?
He went, yeah.
How many shoes did he have?
Big ass cruise ship. Yeah. But still, right?
Yeah.
So your mum also came
So my
here?
mum came here with her family.
Okay.
My dad came here by himself. He had a cousin here.
Yeah.
That pretty much took him on. And that cousin is my godfather now. He's almost like a second dad to us.
And how'd they meet in Sydney? They just crossed paths, or they knew each other? And they
small communities.
Small communities.
Yeah.
So when they came to Sydney,
so
where'd they live?
So mum lived with her family, but then dad's cousin married mum's auntie.
Dad's cousin married mum's auntie, yes.
And that's how they got introduced again.
Okay. Okay, obviously through the family.
Yeah.
And
they're not cousins, FYI. No relations.
Just clearing that up.
Yeah, just clarifying that.
And religious Maronite,
Yeah, Maronite
Christian,
Catholic. Yeah,
Catholic,
yeah, Maronites.
Maronites. Very good. Okay, so they meet in Sydney. What's your mum doing early days when they met?
So she was working in factories as well.
She was working in factories.
Then eventually she joined into the family business.
Yep. And how old were they when they met, just for perspective?
So dad was probably early 20s
Okay.
and mum just a little bit, yeah, around 20s, early 20s. There's not I don't think there's much difference in age.
Isn't it crazy the adversity that our parents and grandparents went through? And when sometimes, people of the new generation, even us, we might think we got it tough, but imagine what.
We don't have it tough. Like, what's tough for us? Someone unfollowed us on LinkedIn, or someone, what is tough these days? At the end of the day, we
get
still
FOMO when you go on Instagram stories and people are out and you're not. That's tough.
What? Honestly,
that is tough.
It is. And you know what? We all fall in that trap. I've fallen in that trap.
Yeah.
I see someone, I go, oh, why can't I have that? I should have that. But then, talking to the family and just looking back at perspective, we have it amazing and it's great.
Yeah. No doubt. So
back to my earliest memory.
But how old when they had you?
How old when they had me?
Yes.
So probably, just a couple of years later.
Wasted no time.
No time.
That's cool. So
condoms very expensive back in the day. You know what I mean? No TV, no Netflix and chill.
And growing up, you've got two brothers.
I've got two brothers. Yeah. So Roy, he's in the business, and we also have another brother called Patrick, and he's got Down syndrome.
And no sisters.
No sisters.
No sisters. That's right. So 3 brothers, and are you?
I'm the eldest.
You're the eldest.
I know. Surprised, huh?
I thought with
Roy used to be fun.
I thought Roy was the eldest in the way he's more mature.
Yeah. So you learn something new every day.
Yeah. So 3 brothers. You're the eldest. What's the age difference?
So between me and Roy, 2, and between Roy and Pat, 3.
Okay. All right. There you go. So you're running around and you're living out at, was it?
Back in the day. So we used to live in East Lakes.
East Lakes.
Which is like the ghetto back there, near Mascot.
Okay, East Lakes. And then
all high-rise units, a lot of housing commission. But you don't like growing up poor, you don't realize you're poor.
Yeah.
You don't see it. Like no matter what, we always had everything. We didn't have like Nikes. Like I remember going to Payless shoes or those and my friends had better shoes, but that was probably the only thing that made me realize, oh, okay, we don't have that much money. But other than that, they gave us a fucking amazing life. Besides my parents always working and me having to look after my brothers, other than that, like all my childhood memories were amazing. I think they did a fantastic job. And a testament to that is that we all still work in the family business. And that's a big thing for us. Like me, Dad, and Roy, we work inside out every day together. We're together 10, 12 hours a day.
Now that's beautiful, but still 4-year-old El-Hachem running around. You're in East Lakes. Dad's working at Sexy Donuts.
Yeah, Cheeky Donuts in Alexandria. Donuts. And that's honestly, that is my earliest memory. Like, because I've listened to your podcast. I knew that question would come up, and I was just trying to think back. And my earliest memory was me running around in Dad's little donut shop, and being passed around from neighbors. Like I used to have community really meant a lot back then. And when you're a little takeaway store in the middle of a community, I used to go and sleep at my neighbor's house. They used to take me in. Dad used to give them food. Like that bartering, that community, it was really strong back then.
Camaraderie is beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
It's special.
And you know what? And the family was really welcomed into the community, so it was really proud.
And in East Lakes, I'm guessing Aussies?
No, there was actually a lot of, because there was a lot of housing commission.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of Turkish, a lot of like immigrants, yeah. A lot of mix of life. Like I used to remember we'd go to the park and it'd just be kids everywhere. And
that's beautiful.
And another reason is because it was all units. So there was 5 of us, and Dad, any family members that would come from overseas, they would stay with us in this 2-bedroom unit. So we'd have sometimes like 5 to 7 people in a 2-bedroom unit that was tiny. And honestly, I can't remember like ever feeling bad about it. It was just amazing. You made it work. We'd play, me and Roy, we didn't have a backyard, so we'd play soccer in the hallway. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Oh my God, you and Roy, like 6, 7 years old, you guys must have run
Fucking
amok.
shit up.
Oh my
Fucking
god!
shit up.
In those hallways,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of a block of units, and you guys bashing soccer balls off everything and
Yeah.
being little shits.
Yeah. It was bad. It was bad. Poor neighbors down the bottom and above us, because we were in the middle.
You
That's
just
probably
pissed
why.
everyone off.
That's probably why the neighbors kept moving.
Probably.
It's all making sense now.
All right, where'd you go to primary school?
St. Teresa's in Mascot.
And
You know what? There was a lot of Greeks in Mascot back in the day. A lot of my friends were Greek.
Yeah, there you go. It still are.
Maybe some of your cousins.
Maybe. And in primary school, you're running around in the yard. You're what, year 1, year 2? Are you the popular kid?
Not really, because I don't know. I just not popular, but didn't lack friends. I'm always the type of person that jumps from friend groups to friend group. You know, just what's in, what's out.
Yeah.
But not necessarily everyone wanted to hang out with me. Because of that. You know, one day I'll be hanging out with the girls, one day I'll hang out with the boys, hanging out with the other boys, and yeah.
And Roy and your other brother went to the same school?
So Patrick, he's got Down syndrome, so he's always been in the special school system, and Roy went to that same school, yeah.
And how was it going to school with Roy?
I actually don't remember him at school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
Yeah, but the biggest culture shock for us was going from predominantly mixed cultural school in the suburbs, like Mascot, when Dad bought a business in Parramatta, going to a school called El-Hachem, Lebanon, which is predominantly Lebanese.
That must have felt good, like you with the...
It was different because I walk into this school the first day and all the kids are like, hey, what village are you from? I'm like, village? Do you have any cousins here? Cousins? Like, you don't get these questions asked in a normal school, you know? But in a school like that, it's a very big, strong community.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have family in the school. So like, I remember going home the first day and I was like, Mum, how many cousins do we have at this school? Mum, what village are we from? So the school taught me a lot about my culture, my background, and it made me feel really connected to my faith and to my culture.
But just back in Mascot, would you speak Arabic around the house?
Mum and Dad would. So I understand Arabic.
Swear words? Of course.
Yeah, 100%. But I don't know how to, like, if you don't, it's like anything in life. If you don't use your skills, you end up losing them. But going back to LA, Lebanon, they started teaching us Arabic there.
Yeah.
So I think it was probably
Lebanese? Everyone Lebanese?
We had like one Australian kid.
Well, why?
I don't know. And this little fucker ended up speaking better Arabic than I did.
Far out.
Which is a disappointment to me.
He probably came out more Lebo than...
He did. He was a great kid.
All Lebos.
Yeah. But you know what? That school taught me community, culture, and, you know, what it means to have each other's backs.
So from what year onwards did
Year 7.
Year 7, you went to Al-Adia, Lebanon in Parramatta. You're on the other side of the world from Mascot to Para.
Yeah.
And
it's a big change as well because you've lost all your friends, you've lost all your connections as well.
Did you feel a little bit more at home, a little bit more at when you're hanging around your individuals from your own culture type thing, a little bit more warm?
Well, I didn't,
camaraderie.
Because I really didn't grow up in the culture. It was a culture shock.
Yeah.
You know, going from a mixed race school to predominantly 99% Lebanese school was a big culture shock, you know. But again, it's probably one of the things that has made me who I am today, and put me closer to our faith as well.
And year 7, year 8, year 9, what subjects are you doing?
What subjects?
Yeah.
Very strong business.
Yeah?
Yeah. Really early on.
It just got clicked. Business. What else you got?
To be honest, all I cared about was all the business topics and subjects. Like the rest, I was at school as well as a very late bloomer. So when I come into school, I'm at the bottom of all the, you know how you get graded in classes. And by the time I get to year 10, school just makes sense to me. And then I started doing, 3-unit English and then all these, advanced maths. But then I discovered girls, and that was the downfall of that.
Yep.
Because it's a co-ed school.
Co-ed school.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know. I went to King's.
Yeah. So for us, like, I ended up being the class clown.
Really?
Yeah, because it was surprise.
And
I just like making people feel happy.
How was Roy when you guys are both now Letty 11 on running around?
Again, because he's a few years back, like I see Roy, but don't see Roy.
Yeah.
And the buildings were kind of split, so just in passing. Funny thing is, a lot of Roy's friends are my friends now. So yeah, and again, it comes back to hanging out at the school.
Yeah.
Me and Roy started working together about 14 years ago, and that was in the CBD. And from then on, because it was in the city, we'd go work and then club on Thursday and Friday night, and we became really close.
But just you were in high school, Al-Adia, Lebanon. Your dad made the move. What shop did he have in Para?
So he had it in Westwood Parramatta. It was part of a franchise. It was
Okay,
called Croissant Connection.
Croissant Connection.
So it was
Westfield Para.
it was a pretty big chain back in the day.
Okay.
Bakery cafe,
What level was it?
level 2.
Level 2.
Yeah.
And just during high school, did you have any side hustles? Like, did you work on the side a little bit?
It was anything and everything we did was with the cafes. So as like after school, I'd go and help him. During the weekends, I'll be there. So Dad got us involved in the business very early on. Going back a few years back before we made the move, we used to run the canteens in Erskineville for South Sydney. And Roy used to be the ball boy. He used to go and get the ball and set up the sand for the footy players. And Dad used to run one side of the canteen with the liquor and the sausage sizzle, and I used to run the other side.
Wow.
And back then I was pouring Nescafe coffee.
There you go.
Yeah, so always been in
Bit of
hospitality.
hot water, Nescafe, bang.
If you want me in my most natural element, put me behind a coffee machine, behind a counter. That is where I still feel at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sitting in an office, putting a suit and tie is not for me. And anytime I can escape that, I'm out.
Okay, so and your dad's just got the one cafe in Westfields.
That's right.
What else do you remember during high school? Anything major? What was it like to your youngest brother? Taking care of him. Tell us about that growing up.
So, growing up with a brother with Down syndrome is you don't understand it. Like, from a young age, he's your brother, you love him, but you don't know and you don't understand why other people look at him differently. So that was always the hardest challenge because he's non-vocal, but he understands, he talks in his own way, but it doesn't, he only has a couple of words. So yeah, it was a bit tough growing up and accepting that he's different and that people view him different. Like for us, he's a blessing and we love him to death. Like he's our whole world. But people are not like that out in the real world. They're not accepting. They look at him weird. They look at him strange, and it hurts you. And you got to build a thick skin for that.
So tell me more about that. Did you feel like you had also a duty of care?
Oh yeah, because I remember if mum and dad were working during the school holiday, like mum and dad were always working because we had nothing. I was the one at home looking after him. Like I had to change his nappies until he was like 6 years old. I had to shower him. I had to get the meals ready for Roy when they're on the weekend. So from a very, very early on, I had a lot of responsibility. And that's probably why anytime I can to have fun, I try to have fun. Yeah.
So
fuck, Ari, you're getting me deep now.
Dude, this is beautiful,
This
man.
is very deep.
This is beautiful. And I've met him in his most beautiful heart. And I guess it's a big part too. But growing up, you've got your brother with that condition. Let's say you take him out to play. You take him out to play. Can you play sport? Can you kick your soccer ball around? Tell us about that.
Let's just say from day one,
Yeah.
Patrick was born. He got baptized a couple of days later because they said he wasn't going to make it. That's how much of a big blessing he is. He's gone in, I think it was the first or second day, and has had open heart surgery. Had a hole in his heart. They're like, baptize him because we don't think he's coming home. And, thank God he's healthy and he's around. So it's a big thing in our family.
But growing up, the three boys, could you go kick a board?
Yeah.
Thing,
yeah. So once he starts,
have a laugh.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And I think it's a thing with Down syndrome. They love wrestling. So from a very, very young age, everything was about wrestling. We used to wrestle with him. I remember we used to take those barricades, the airport ones, and we used to set up in the backyard and just create wrestling rings and just wrestle with him because he's quite flexible.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really hard to pin him.
Yeah.
But even to this day, like I'm a 40-year-old man, and you'll still, if I'm at home with him, I'll still wrestle with him on the carpet.
You must be good by now, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
You
But I'm
must-
getting older, you know. And now my kids are at home watching. They're like, "Dad, what are you doing?"
Okay, so high school side hustles. Any side hustles? You're just hanging out with your dad. Level 2 Parramatta, croissant
Yeah.
connection. What else? Year 11, year 12. What's going on? Are you zoning in for the whole?
So I tried to go to education. I always wanted to be an architect. I love architecture. I love design. So I didn't make it into architecture, but I did civil engineering. So I finished the draftsman in that.
Wow.
Then
Did you know what you wanted to do?
I wanted to do something with like designing, and I couldn't get into architecture. So I'm like, all right, engineering seems like similar, but it isn't. So engineers just make architects like look great, and you never get the credit for it. And I didn't like that. I want credit. And then I went into uni and started doing business economics.
There you go. And just before we jump into uni, year 9, year 11, 12, are you playing sports?
Not very good at sports.
Yeah.
Wish I was better at sports.
Is there a sport that you kind of follow?
Not really. I don't know. Like my
NRL.
life, I love the Roosters, but am I watching it every week? Not like I used to. Really, right now I'm zoned into work, into business, into creating. For me, I want to create a global coffee brand,
Okay.
and it takes a lot of energy to do that.
I think you need to sponsor the Bulldogs.
Doggies.
If you want to get, you need to sponsor the Bulldogs because they're
Yeah.
going to win this year and
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
got the big fan base.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Note to self.
Yeah. Okay. I guess you're in high school. You're thriving year 11, year 12 in your academics, but you come out to university and what do you get into?
Into uni.
Yeah,
So I did civil engineering first at TAFE,
civil engineering.
and then I went to business economics at uni. And then from that, I just fell straight into. We went from being a Western Sydney brand into Dad bought a restaurant in the CBD.
Okay.
So big change from running a little cafe in Western Sydney, Parramatta, to now being in the big boys in a restaurant cafe that sold liquor in the CBD.
Okay. And just on that, during that university period, are you going full academics? Are you into going out? You said earlier you and Roy would.
So just before, yeah, I was doing good at uni until we got this restaurant in the CBD
Okay.
where it just was about business and having fun.
Okay. So the restaurant in the CBD, you got the father and you got the kids. You're all in there.
Yeah.
You're hungry.
Uh-huh.
And whereabouts in CBD? What? Tell us about it.
So it was a really big space, and it was a cafe restaurant that was licensed. And it was the first time my family had touched anything that was licensed. And I've never made a cocktail or a bar or like. I remember when people were ordering drinks, I'll be like, "Yeah, 1 minute." Run to the computer, which those big boxy computers back in the day, and you have to dial up the internet, so no one call the business anymore, and go, "How do I make this cocktail?" So we winged it so much back in those days, and
Where was it?
so it was in 321 Kent Street. It was called La
Okay.
Cantina,
Okay.
and it became an institution. And that's where, so we got to a stage where we would have a very busy, so baristas are very busy in the morning. Then at lunchtime, baristas don't have anything to do. So me and Rod would go and chill out at the front of the cafe with all the young people around that was working. And every day, everyone would just sit down and just have piccolos. And that's where our love for piccolos came.
Okay. And what's Roy doing? Is he in uni? Is he?
So Roy's in TAFE now, and I believe he went from doing accounting to graphic design, marketing.
There you go.
Yeah,
Um.
and Roy is is a creative genius. He's very special.
And during that time, I'm guessing you guys are working big hours because you got the
Huge hours. We're like,
all the way through, right?
yeah. So we're still living in Parramatta. So we're going from in the morning. So we had to open up at 6. So we're leaving home at 4:35. Listening to Alan Jones on the way to work, trying to figure out what we're going to talk to our customers about today.
Shout out to Ellen Jones.
Yeah. But yeah. So it was super important for us to have. If you're a barista, you're like a good hairdresser. people want to come talk to you and forget about the world. So we needed to have our A game ready. So people came to us for the coffee, like, and then probably 90% for the gossip and for the news. And it got to a stage where we were mucking around and fucking around with these big CEOs, and other customers would come and go, that's my boss. That's the CEO of like an ING. That's this and that. And we're like, Barry's what? So
Barry's just a G.
yeah, like we could connect to people on a different level. And when people came into our business, I think they left their titles behind because they could come and forget about their days.
It's like the barber,
Hospitality.
isn't it? The barber, you spill your heart.
Yeah, or a personal trainer.
A personal trainer, you just dump all your shit.
Yeah.
But
I think we all need someone where we can just vent to.
you do. But up until then, have you traveled at all overseas up until that?
Yeah, so I
time?
did Tunketi, which was real big eye opener for us. I did it with I'm still very close with these boys.
Yeah. So how
Three
old were you
best
when you
friends.
did the Kentucky?
So I would say probably 20.
20 years old.
Amazing.
Good. And how long did you go for?
So we went for 40 days
40 days.
and went to 40 countries.
What?
Yeah, it's Kentucky is like
What?
but in Europe, a country is like 1 minute away.
Yeah,
You
but
can go there. You
40
go to 7 countries in one hour.
Yeah. So you and the boys, Kentucky, playing Monopoly, bit of Uno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a good time.
Nice, man.
But it was like it opened me up to the world, and I had a better love and understanding for hospitality, I think, after traveling.
But when you came back after traveling, in what way would you say you saw the world different?
I was just energized and I was hungry. So ever since then, I love traveling.
Mm.
And also, like, now that I'm married with my kids, I can just take them where I want to take them without guessing. I'll be like, let's go here, let's go there, let's do this.
Correct.
I think
Yeah.
everyone should travel. It's so important.
I feel like and correct me if I'm wrong. I did something similar at 18 years old. Went over, you put a little bit of money yourself in your pocket, and you go and you just feel that freedom, and it's almost like you get a taste of blood. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, life can be this good.
Yeah, and definitely.
Ooh, why can't life be this good all the time?
But I'm there and I'm like on a food safari. Like 90% of my photos is food. Like, wow, look at this, look at that, look how they do that. Like Europe is beautiful. And when you go to Spain and you see the colors, the culture, Italy, the pizza, French, the patisseries,
Greece,
Greece, the Mikan, like what is it? The Uzo,
Slovakia.
Souvlaki. It was so, I can't get over how cheap things are in Greece. When
Oh,
you get a euro.
that was a drachma, bro. A euro now, it's
No.
Don't worry, you go Tropicana. Oh, Tropicana's cheap. You go to Greece, and they'll get you good.
Yeah,
With a smile. With a smile.
Back then, like you can get a euros for like it was like $1.
Yeah.
€1, and
That
I
was
was
a
like,
good old drachma.
but how crazy is it, But then even going, I spent a lot of time in Italy, and Italy was like €1 for an espresso, and I'm like, this is cool, and that's why even at our store in La Cantina, we all our friends and family would just whatever $1, $2, whatever, just come and chill with us.
Speaking about Greece, can we do a little ouzo? I know he's Lebanese. You will probably want to do a scotch.
No,
A
I
little
drink
thing.
Ada, man. What do you think?
Ada.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, let's do an ouzo. Yeah.
Now to a short commercial break.
No short commercial breaks. This is live. Whatever you say, there's no editing here. Just by the way. So that's the one. That's the one.
Are we doing it straight from the bottle?
No. We're just gonna get fucked up now.
Oh, I thought we're doing like, isn't this the Mykonos edition?
We're just gonna get fucked up, man.
Hey, it's only 9:30 a.m. It's
We're
probably
both
5,
gonna go back to our offices.
it's 5 p.m. somewhere.
Like no hopers, drunk.
You know what? People might like us today then.
Yeah.
Are we doing 2 glasses or am I just doing it myself?
No, I'm getting a glass too. You
Alright,
think I'm gonna do
sweet.
that to you?
I think you would.
Come on, bro.
Ellare.
Hold up, one sec.
Ellare.
With the branding. The one I'm sipping-
Calamare.
The one I'm sipping. Look.
No, yep. Got that.
All right, so this right here,
Tell us the story.
we actually did the branding for this.
See, Greeks, there's always a story behind something. You
This
invented.
right, Seth? You
did
like this one? See this Greek? It says "mazime philos."
Oh.
It means together with
Yeah.
friends.
See, I told you there was a short commercial break. Any moment to get a little plug in.
Listen, bro. Cheers.
Cheers.
How good the ASMR on the podcast?
That is beautiful.
It is. Well, it's Hellenic, so what do you expect, brother?
We invented good times.
All right, so come back from Kentucky. We've got this restaurant you're pumping in 321 Kent Street.
Yeah, great. Honestly, best time of my life.
Yeah.
Like you're working from 6 a.m. and you're partying from 6 p.m. Like it was a good time. And
Where are you
mind you,
partying?
Ivy and all those days.
Oh,
like
to the street, I saw you.
yeah. That's after Ivy.
So you and Roy, Ivy.
Yeah. Back in
Okay.
the day, that was pretty cool because we'd get there, and back then it was very hard to get into, but we were there so early, we were like already in.
Now you book at the penthouse.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Huh?
Yeah. Very good.
Look at us now.
Okay, so it's when you're young, you can just keep going. Hey, you work, you go out,
It's
and you're
crazy.
sweet.
It's crazy. And so we went from like if we're talking about coffee culture, Western Sydney coffee culture back then wasn't very strong. Dad's teaching me how to make coffee, and he's got this biggest jug ever, and he's frothing it. It's all flat white is flat, cappuccino is high. So I took it to the city, and it didn't take on straight away. So we're competing against people that do latte art and all this stuff. So I'm working 5 days in a business, and I'm learning how to make really good coffee on the weekend. So the hustle is real. If you want to be the best at something, you got to go learn from the best. So I'm working 5 days from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., going crazy, going partying. And then on the weekends, showing up to a cafe in Mossman at 7 a.m.
What's in Mossman?
I was working for like these really, really up there cafes that were doing all latte art and Swifts and all this stuff. Just learning how to perfect my game.
Okay, with all the,
I didn't need to work. I didn't need the money or nothing. I just wanted to learn the craft.
were you saving? Were you spending?
Both.
Both, eh?
Yeah, both. You got to understand, if you're an ethnic living at home, there's no expense. So you got a bit more money, and you're not really thinking about buying a house.
You're telling me.
Yeah, you're still at home, yeah?
I'm 29.
There you go, see? You're never going to leave.
30
That's why you're
next month.
fucking drinking Ouza at 9 a.m. You don't care, no.
Okay, so no, very cool. So how old up to are you in the restaurant, and then you go into Mossman, you're doing that thing?
I'm doing it for about a year.
Doing it for about a year.
Until
and you
I was good.
Stop uni during that time because it's
Yeah.
too much, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I found my calling.
Yeah.
You know, I love making people happy.
Yep.
I finally found something I was good at. I think that was it. It was good. I could make a business work. I can make people smile. I can make people laugh, and I was content at the end of it. Yeah, it's hard work, but I was content.
Mm.
And yeah, so since then we haven't looked back. You know, from there, from one restaurant in the CBD, we ended up opening 14 other cafes. At one stage, we were
Whoa. You just jumped.
yeah.
You just slow
Rewind.
down. Okay. Okay. So after a year, what happened?
So after a year, we just started being really good at it. So we perfected the food, perfected the culture.
Yeah.
I had perfected the coffee,
Okay.
and we just started going. So yeah, we started building cafes, independents. We started build.
Independent cafes, like.
We just opened cafes. Then we opened another cafe.
What was the first cafe you opened?
So it was called Press Cafe.
Okay, I see it in your office.
Yeah,
Fresh-
so
yeah.
that was it. So when we started Press Cafe, my uncle started it in Canada. So I told
Okay.
you, all the men are in hospitality.
Yep.
So my uncle is starting a chain in Montreal, and he got it to a stage where he was in Sydney, Paris, Cyprus, Russia, Africa. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then so we went from independence to started opening this branch of Press Cafe. We got to about 10 stores, and then we started having a bit of issues with the whole licensing of it. And this, mind you, is my uncle.
Just on that, when you say independent, so
We started with independent, little bits of cafes. Then
meaning you own it.
as like
Yes.
our own brand, and then
Yeah.
we started branding them as Press Cafe. We
Yes.
brought the brand over from Canada,
Yeah.
and then we had some licensing issues.
What's the point of bringing it over from Canada? Like, no one's gonna know Press Cafe in Australia.
It's a family thing.
Okay, but so what IP?
Rather than opening 20 independent cafes, we thought, why not build an international brand? So we were going to do Australia, New Zealand, China, all the Asian countries, and he was going to focus on Europe and Middle East.
Did he kind of say, okay, what? Here's the menu. Here's a this. Here's a that.
Yeah, so that's where we kind of had some issues. My uncle is very like all about detail, pedantic. this is how we have it in Canada. This is how we have to have it around the world. And it was hard because Australia was leading in coffee. We were like, ranked around the best in coffee, and they wanted to bring Canadian coffee into Australia. But we're like, we should teach you how to make coffee. And that's where it kind of broke down around the coffee.
So what kind of food you doing?
Pre-made sandwiches, baguettes, like really. So Montreal in Canada is very French heavy. So a lot of that French influence.
And the 10 cafes, where they're opening?
CBD. So a
All
lot
in
of corners.
CBD?
Yeah. So a lot of corners.
Oh my God.
And then
So you got, 10 cafes in the CBD. Your dad, Roy, yourself, and you probably got other partners going.
yeah, and franchisees as well.
Franchisees as well. How long did it take you to get to 10 cafes?
Not that long. So probably 3 or 4 years. 3 years.
Wow.
And then from that, we had to break down communication, and then we went to Piccolo Me. And Piccolo Me was started not to be a franchise. We wanted to go and do things independently and just have fun and just, it was supposed to be just a one-off.
Did you rebrand from Press to Piccolo?
No,
or
we
you
just
left
started.
it?
No, Press was thriving, just with those issues in the background. And we just said, you know what, let's just, and it was very close to a Press cafe that we own. So let's just start up a new brand.
What was your experience with how many franchisees did you have with Press Cafe?
I think 3 or 4.
And did you pick mates? Did you pick how's that?
In franchising, it's always family and friends in the beginning.
Yep.
So every network will tell you that, because they're the ones that buy in. They see their success.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool as well because you get a lot of trust. So family and friends coming in. Got a few independents. Then we started the licensing issues with Canada, and then we started Piccolo Me just to be different.
Yeah.
Day one, Piccolo Me, the coffee, like good quality food, and be different.
And what was the first Piccolo Me?
10 Bridge Street, and we were there for like 9.5 years
Where's that?
in the CBD.
In the CBD.
Yeah.
And how old were you when the first Piccolo Me opened up?
So that was 2012. So let's say, what am I now?
10 years ago.
Yeah, 12 years ago.
Can we get some my maths? Can we get some photos sent to Tio of like all of this stuff, and then we'll put them up on the screen as you're talking?
Yeah, if you want.
I want that
Is
first
this still
shot
live?
Piccolo Me.
Are we still live?
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah, yeah.
It's real. It's raw. It's Stories Unlocked.
Stories unlocked. Real, unedited.
So we brought out. By the way, come say hello in the back.
Come on,
Come say
Rachel.
hello, Rachel. So I called Rachel about 20 minutes before the podcast. I said,
Rachel, are you going to sit in your own chair?
I'm gonna.
"This is Rachel here." So Rachel
Can we see
takes
her? We
care
still
of
can't see her. There she is.
Look ahead.
Here,
Look
Rachel, you want
ahead.
to say some words?
Hey guys, how are we going? Can you see me? No.
You're good. You're good there. Just watch the laptop. Watch the laptop. You're gonna cover his beautiful face. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So first Piccolo Me.
You know, Rach, how's the experience with us?
It's good.
Yeah, you enjoying
Yeah.
it?
I think hospitality is a fast-paced business, so you got to keep up, you got to pivot, and to be successful, you've got to.
Do we pivot?
Yeah, we pivot.
But do we, as a brand Piccolo Me, do we pivot?
100%. I think as well, but what Piccolo Me has is you as the people is something that
You can't
you
replicate.
can't replicate.
That's
So,
true.
You can't replicate if you're having fun. If you're having fun and you're enjoying it, it's not a job.
Yeah.
It's
As
characters.
cliche as it is,
I think baristas, like as you said before, a lot of it is about relationships. So,
Yeah.
if I can go and get a coffee and have a good chat, I'm gonna go and get the coffee where I can have a good coffee and a good chat.
yeah.
So,
And
It's
then
not always about good product.
I can tell you about the marketing world too. Sometimes we may have a juggernaut, multi-million, billion-dollar company that we're doing marketing for, and it doesn't matter how much money, how big, how many stores, how many this, how many that, someone has when it comes to making noise. It comes down to community, and you could have one little business in Engadine, a little town, and it can get thousands and it can go crazy and the rest of it. Then you can have a place where you can have 200 stores and it gets zero engagement because it's faceless. The thing with Piccolo Me is there is community, and that's why if you look at the engagement that we don't even do performance boosting and the rest of it. it just organically just explodes, and it's a testament. And that's off the back of, once again, you got character, you got community, and we tell a story, and every story needs a character. Well, we got three characters: Dad, yourself, Roy, and that's why it does well. So it makes
we all stick in our lane.
makes our lives easy, because when you walk in and there's nothing you can kind of, okay, you can take a photo of a panini, but everyone takes photos of paninis.
Yeah.
How many acai bowl shots you gonna take? You gotta get in there, and you gotta this character, the storytelling, etc. But tangenting.
I think it's time for another Uzo shot.
All right. Let's.
My glass is empty.
Your glass is empty, dude.
I thought we were supposed to take we're supposed to scull it.
I just had leg day, bro. I'm gonna go catabolic.
Yeah. Come on. Give him another one.
Look, I'm good. Listen,
Give
I'm
him
good.
another one.
Oh,
Come on, man.
All right.
You just told me how good this Uzo is.
Okay, so first year of Piccolo Me.
Cheers first.
Cheers. Yamas.
Yamas.
It means to health.
To health.
Okay, so
And to get rich.
we need both. Okay, so second year of Piccolo Me. Where is it? And how old are you?
So I'm what, 38 now, so minus 12.
Yeah.
What's that, 26?
Okay.
Piccolo Me, again, I'll go back to Roy. Roy is a freak. Roy is probably the only person you ever meet that growing up, had a whiteboard in his bedroom and will draw ideas when like during his sleep. So he'd wake up in the middle of the night, draw an idea, go back to sleep, and that would essentially go viral. So if we look at store 2 and 3, that's when we started going viral. I'm going to say we probably in Sydney kickstarted the whole viral and dessert craze. We were in the newspaper and magazines and websites like nearly every week for a long time.
What went viral?
So the first product that went viral was a Nutella bomb. So it was like a blob of Nutella, you put it in and it's deconstructed hot chocolate. Then we went further, we did a Nutella iced coffee. Then we went further and did a fried Nutella ice cream.
Whoa.
Then we did the world's biggest fried Nutella ice cream. And one of the products Roy went really viral for was a cheeseburger croissant. And this cheeseburger croissant got praised locally, and internationally we got fucking destroyed. There was a photo in the one of the telegraphs, and it's Roy holding this croissant, and he's got this big fucking cheesy smile. And then the French magazine, I think it was, I can't remember what it was, one of the famous ones. Look at this proud Australian, and destroying our national treasure like the croissant. Because back then croissants were like just basic. Ham and cheese was the furthest you go with it. And Roy's putting bacon and beef, and it's a full like loaded cheeseburger. And then Roy's like, you know what? I'm gonna take it one step further, and he coated it and fried it, and it was just going everywhere. And that early days Instagram and social media as well.
Wow.
America was picking it up. It was pretty cool.
Wow. And I mean, during that time,
we did a lot of, back then as well. It was a lot of deconstructed.
Yeah.
Deconstructed bowls, deconstructed ice cream, everything was deconstructed.
And 26, 27, you married yet?
That is a tough one. I think I am.
Don't buckle here, dude.
Far out, man. Don't send this link to my wife.
I'm gonna say yes. She's gonna jump through that window.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I love my wife.
And
without what age? Without my wife,
yeah,
I'm fucked. She holds my whole life together because I'm just focusing on business, growing, getting it everywhere, dealing with the day to day, and she holds my life together.
What age did you meet?
So I think actually saw yesterday I was packing something up and I found the diary I gave her, and it said, I'd say we're together now 15 years.
15 years?
Yeah.
Where'd you meet?
So through friends.
Through friends. So you just like...
She hated me in the beginning. Most people do when they meet me. Because I'm very honest. And like, Ari, you're fucking smiling because you're probably like, I hated you as well, you can't.
Hey. No comment. I'm
not the type of person
that will... party...
No, just through friends. So Roy's friends, how I was hanging out with them for a lot now.
Yeah.
And just, yeah. So just through friends.
And what happened? You asked her out? What was the first date?
I don't know. We just kind of, in the beginning, it was love-hate. And then we just connected. We just started hanging out as friends, and then it just took on from there.
And off you went.
And off we went.
Lebanese?
She's Lebanese, yeah.
Stuck in the culture.
Yeah, but it wasn't about that.
Yeah.
She's just a beautiful person.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, she's amazing. And anyone that meets her, I'm guessing 99% will never have anything bad to say about her. Probably
Yeah.
that 1% is that you married Charlie.
Now that's beautiful. And what age were kids, right?
Yeah, so we didn't get married straight away. So probably 5 years before we got married. And then we actually got pregnant straight away on our honeymoon. And that was hard. Like,
Yep.
marrying someone, moving to a house, and pregnant was like a recipe for disaster.
Well, it's
tough.
You got
It's a lot of change
engagement
in like
ring,
such a big
engagement
time.
party, wedding, honeymoon, kids,
So
house.
so quick.
What all your pockets like during that
Oh,
time?
man.
Just destroyed.
Yeah, destroyed. But it wasn't even about that. It's about sanity is destroyed because it's tough. And then you also got a business that's growing. Like, if you're an entrepreneur and you're deep into it, a business is your child. I don't care what anyone says. What you do and like, if you love your business, it's everything. And for me, Piccolo Me is everything at the moment.
Mm. And so you're about 27 when you had your first kid?
I'd say so, yeah. I'm very bad with numbers and dates.
Yep, I can see.
Like, I'm all about, like, everything's in my diary.
Yeah.
Like, my wife's birthday, the way I had to memorize it, because to show you how bad I am, I had to create a formula in my head. So my birthday is May 28. So I'm like, all right, she is minus 1 month. I mean, she's plus 1 month, June, and she's minus 10 days. So 18.
Wow.
That's the only way I can remember things. It's like formulas. But I could still remember customers' coffee orders.
There you go.
Fucking weird. Like, if I'm in the street and I see a customer that I've served 10 years ago, I'm like, hey, flat white with 2 sugars. And I think a lot of baristas are like that as well.
Yeah, then that's and people love that. They feel special and they will never look elsewhere. And how many kids all up right now?
4. Blessed,
Kids?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Ages?
Fuck, man. I told you I'm bad at
Come
numbers.
on, man. The ages you gotta get.
Well, I know my youngest is 1 because she turned 1 2 days ago.
Okay.
And then I reckon the next one's turning 4.
Yeah.
And I think the third one is turning 8.
Yeah.
And the 4th one is turning 10.
Wow. That's beautiful. So boy, girls, what's going on?
Boy, girl, boy, girl.
Boy, girl. That's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you got both.
Yeah, I got it down packed. If you want the tips, I'll give them to you later.
Far out.
Strategically planned.
Well, that's good. I mean, a boy, girl. Some people that have all girls,
Yeah,
all boys.
Yeah,
You
no, it's all
wanna
about
have-
technique, and when you take the ouzo, and when you sun when it's up and the moon.
No,
There's
you,
all science behind it.
You executed well.
Thanks.
You executed well. And Roy, how many kids?
He's got 2.
2 kids.
Yeah,
Um,
2 beautiful girls.
what's it like having you got kids, business, wife, and then you've got family, and then you've got friends, and then you've got problems that pop up every day, and then you've got how do you juggle it all?
You know what? I found I've actually started posting a lot more now on LinkedIn,
Yes.
and I find if you want something to happen, first of all you got to work hard for it, but put it in the universe. So I'm very, very big on sharing my story at the moment. Family business, what it takes to grow a family business, what it takes to grow a franchise. So I'm really big on that at the moment, sharing my story. I think it's important that, like, growing up, I looked up to a lot of entrepreneurs as well that were doing really well, and just like, I want to be like that.
Do you get any time for yourself, like Charlie time, like a sauna session? It must be.
No. For me at the moment, I'm like, I'm a very obsessive person. So if I want to do something, I want to do it.
Yeah.
So like business, I want to grow.
Yeah.
Like 100 stores, I have to get to 100 stores. Right now, my obsession is Survivor.
That's the number. You've told me that number a couple of times. 100. I've heard that for a number of years. So that number you've set your mind on. 100.
Yeah, so it's a new target. Like, it's a target for last couple of years, but I think we've really focused and honed into where we want to be.
Yeah. And
so we're probably at what, 45 now? I think we'll get to 100 in the next 3-4 years.
I think so. Just looking at the amount of grand openings we did with you last year.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess if you just follow that trajectory, you're there if you can just keep doing what you're
And we
doing.
could
But it's all
push
about
harder.
quality. It's quality.
But that's the thing. It's trying to get the
Yeah.
balance
Yeah.
of not opening for the sake of opening.
Yes.
But we could push harder.
Yes.
Like I could open 20 stores a year, but we're just trying to make sure that we get, good stores.
And in saying that for you now, I mean, you've got all the franchisees, you've got the fit outs, you've got the operations, you've got the distribution, you've got the marketing, there is a gazillion things with the amount of stores, and also they're on different demographics, different locations. There's a lot to do with.
Surround yourself with the right people.
Surround yourself with the right people. Do you have time with wifey? How does that work for family? How does family time come into this?
So I do make time for the family, but it's hard because I'm traveling a lot more now. So it's when I'm home, I try to be home. If that makes sense.
Where are you traveling to?
So interstate, internationally, we're doing a lot of things. We're very soon going to announce our first Middle East opening. So that's
You just announced it.
I haven't told you where it is, but so yeah, we just finalized. There's a lot of cool things happening where we're like last year we showcased in Saudi Arabia. We did a UK franchise show. This year we're showcasing in India. So we're super aggressive. So it's not only balancing and managing a local expansion, it's also international.
Wow. No pressure, Rachel. She's sitting there sweating.
Mm-hmm. That's because your fucking AC doesn't work. We're all sweating here.
But I told you, dude. People
you told me, all right, I'm going to put you in the hot seat today. You didn't tell me you're going to turn the AC off.
Yeah, but dude, show some gratitude because people pay a lot of money for saunas and you're getting it for free today.
Man, I'm sweating my tits off.
Well,
thank you. My wife's going to see me tonight. She'll be like, damn, what'd you do today?
Yeah, man, it's good. It's sweat it out. It's good.
You still haven't finished your Uzo, FYI.
Yeah, dude, what are we doing? Like, seriously.
I'm doing shots. I don't know what you're doing. You're sipping.
I don't. Yeah, I sip because we drink it slow.
You didn't tell me that.
That's what we do. See the coffee? You know when you go to Greece?
Yeah.
Okay. What the Greeks would do, they're the worst customers because they'll go sit at your cafe and they'll sit there for 5 hours.
We invented the word slow.
And we'll sip a little bit, and this might last me 6 hours.
Damn.
Right? So we're the worst customers. We'll sit there. We'll probably not buy food.
Oh.
We'll sip, and we'll just sit there. And then we'll people watch. So then we'll creep people out by people watching.
That's all right.
My sister opened a cafe in Belmore.
Oh, congrats.
And years ago, and that's what she realized is the Greeks never ordered. They just sat there and just ruined the place. So that's what we do. Okay, so yeah, just back to that. When it comes to, is there a rule you have, like 1 day per week, one thing? Do you have? How do you juggle business with family? Is there like a something you have, or is it you just capitalize when there's sometimes you just I'm going to close it, I'm going to spend some time X, Y, and Z. How do you?
Well, I try to be
I'm
there
asking
for
a mate.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be there for like all the games. So I try to. I'm never the coach, but the assistant coach. I always try to step in that. I always try to take them to the soccer and
That's
all that.
right. That's why I can't get you at nights because you do soccer coaching.
Well, it's not that. I try to be there for the kids,
Yeah.
So I've learned to try and keep things 9 to 5.
Okay.
So that's a big thing that I tried doing this year.
Yep.
But yeah, like I don't think you need to, like, as bad as it is. My dad was never there 100% of the time, but me and him are still best friends. As long as they see that I'm not fucking around, I'm working hard, I'm trying to build something. I hope they will respect that as well.
Is it different for a son digesting that to a daughter?
My daughter, like when I went overseas, she cried for like 4 nights straight. So it's hard. Like it's the hardest thing is even my girls. My boys, they understand. Like it's just different. Like they're like, yeah, whatever. Just make sure you send me something or buy something. So whenever I go overseas, I always like say I'm sending something from overseas. I'm just using Amazon. So I do that just to show that I'm thinking of them and stay connected. But it's hard.
They're gonna watch this one day, and they're gonna be like, right. "Dad."
You know what it is. But the hardest thing is watching my daughter or hearing my daughter cry, because you're like, "Fuck, I should be there." But then also selfishly, you're like, "I have one chance to do this." So it's like finding that balance between a dad and a business owner. And I don't think anyone's ever cracked that code.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually talking about this yesterday on the podcast, Pick Your Poison. So on, one side, you really do clock off at 5 p.m.
You never clock off.
And for the people that do, I mean, there's two ways you can live your life. You clock up at 5 p.m., you go out to the park, and then you enjoy it with your partner, with your friends, with your family, and you will never ever get that time back. That's priceless. That time that you spend with your family, priceless. But whilst you're doing that, you're obviously going to be missing a lot of business opportunities.
Correct.
And
Especially in this globalization days.
yes,
Because the world doesn't sleep anymore.
You work, massive hours. You're doing that 6-7 days a week, and you're able to hang around high profile people and build something great. But when you're doing that, you're now missing out on all that precious time with family and friends that you will never get back. So either way, it's like both are shit, both are doomed. We're fucked either way.
Yeah.
So pick your poison. And the balance, how does balance work? I mean, look at an Olympic athlete. They go full bore and they rest.
Yeah.
There's no balance in that.
No, there's no balance.
They go, accelerate, and then they. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a tough one, man.
Who do we ask?
Fuck if I know, man. If you find out the answer, let me know.
What does the church say?
In what respect?
Well, what does the church say when it comes to work and balance? I mean, it's a big thing, right? It's a big thing. It's like, how do you live?
Then again,
what's the right way? What does the church say how to live?
So one of my good friends is a priest, and I've asked him the same question. He's got in the Maronite faith, a priest can get married, have children, then become a priest.
Yep.
So it's hard, even for a priest. It's hard to balance, family and to balance the flock or the parish. His problems, like a business owner, are not just, little anymore. It's big. I think if anyone understands that, I think the church understands it the most.
Yeah.
Trying to please everyone, trying to keep everyone in line, keeping everyone. It's a tough gig.
And then it's also taking care of yourself as a man. You don't want to also let yourself go.
I think I've let myself go this year. Mentally, I think I'm okay.
Mentally.
But like physically, like really the biggest asset you have is your body and you should look after it. And that's where I've neglected a lot at the moment. And that's something I do know. I'm just too fucking lazy to start.
Yeah. But just with the microphone, move it closer. Usually what you do is put a fist.
Yeah, like that.
Put it at the distance.
Oh, look at that. You're making me give myself a blowjob? Is that like an inside podcast joke?
We got that. Okay.
Have you seen that movie?
Sometimes I make people do the double fist.
Yeah. Is it time for another shot?
No, that's going to be the shot. You know the short that we'd like do the feature? Like that's going to be Stories Unlocked. All right. So tell us about, where is Piccolo Me today?
So we're national. We're in Melbourne, ACT, New South Wales. We're looking at potentially buying another chain in South Australia and converting it.
Buying another chain in South Australia and converting it. Okay, you're dropping some
inside.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm an open book.
Well, I didn't even know that. I'm do your marketing.
When's the last time we spoke?
Rachel, did you know that? Oh, okay, all right.
There you go, mate. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now you're
national expansion, international expansion. I think this year, well, I hope we've signed an agreement in India. Like I said, we've signed something in the Middle East.
Why India?
It's a great market. It's huge. 1 billion people. It's crazy. Does it like you could open 100-200 stores there without even thinking.
Yeah,
I want to create a global brand.
What is the goal though? Like
a global brand. That's the goal.
And what's the motivator?
We love the brand. We love what we have. We believe we have something special, and we want to take it to the world. If everyone thinks about getting rich, it's not. I can make a lot more money running 2 or 3 stores than what I'm doing right now.
So you're telling me that
it's a slow burn. It's a long time.
That the glitter people see, because probably people from the outside probably go, close to 50 stores, money.
Yeah. They haven't seen the bills that White Key charges us. They don't leave us any money.
On, bro, you can't. You know we're competitively priced. We're not going down this road again.
Time for a short commercial break.
Yeah, but it looks very glamorous, entrepreneurship. It looks very sparkly, glittery. But tell us about the reality of.
We're building foundations. And when you're building strong foundation, it costs money. You can go down the cheap route and just open 100 stores and just let it fall like a house of cards. But we're not interested in that. We really want to build a big, strong brand. And that's what's important to us. Being there for my kids. Why can't my kids inherit this company one day? Why can't we continue this legacy? That's what we're all about.
Cool.
Family, legacy.
And I'm guessing your brother and your father all share the same values.
We do.
Yeah.
Even though we fight and go crazy. Like, our boardrooms is like World War III sometimes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we can walk away and just hug it out. Because we all know we're doing something, same common goal.
Yeah.
It's when you stop believing is when you start breaking up. And at the moment, we all believe. And I posted a couple of days ago about how me and Roy settle our differences. And we do it through scissors, paper, rock.
I like that.
And we still do it to today.
Dude, I like that.
So like if me and Roy don't agree on something,
yes,
scissors, paper, rock. And we stick to it because we believe in it.
But you know what?
It's fair.
I do that in my office. Like I've got my right hand person, Celine, and I flip a coin or scissors, paper, rock. And she's like, stop being ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think it's so logical.
It's fair.
I think it's so logical. Like, okay, can't come to an agreement, scissors, paper, rock.
My kids do it now.
Yeah.
My kids, anytime they fight about something, I'm like, scissors, paper, rock.
So you're telling me the Piccolo Me was built on scissors, paper, rock?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's logical.
It works.
Yeah. And that way, there's no.
And it might not, like you just find your own. I'm not saying use scissors, paper, rock.
Yeah.
Find something that you can both agree to and
That's
stick to it.
Like if I pick rock and you pick I win.
You would just see him. But like flipping a coin sounds a lot easier.
But do you do it out of 3 or like 1?
Depends on how big it is.
Okay.
Usually just 1.
The pressure, man. The pressure.
Sometimes, and it could be as something like if someone calls in sick on the weekend and none of the support staff can fill in, it'd be like, who's going to go in on Sunday? Scissors, paper, rock.
Dude, I love that.
And we do it.
Yeah, no questions asked. And there's no arguments because you lost the battle.
We respect the rules of scissors, paper, rock.
Yeah. Very good. I'm going to go report back to the office. Rachel, we're changing shit up.
Take notes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah?
All right, Rachel, you want to come back on?
So in relationship advice too? Scissors, paper, rock.
Yeah. There you go. Well, in this case, who's going to turn it
on? What would you tell a 10-year-old Charlie if you could go back in time? One piece of advice.
No matter how painful it was, keep going because you're on the right track. Just persevere. You will end up happy.
What have you found the most?
Was that okay?
No, that's honestly that's beautiful. But what has been the most challenging part in your journey?
Where do you start?
People.
It's all. But
people.
But to be honest, if you think, if in anything in life, if you think anything is going to be easy, it's not.
Yeah.
Be prepared for the challenges. Set you up with a really great support network. I find that having my dad, my wife, my brother around, my family really can help me out because I can go from highs of highs to lows of lows really quickly, and having someone in your back corner helping you pull out. Talk to them. Be open and honest. Don't be scared to show your cards if you need the help, and just get out of it.
Yeah.
The longer you stay in the darkness, the harder it is to get out.
Yeah.
And we all go through the dark times.
One of the things that I've identified working with you over the years, and it's actually yourself, your brother, your dad, and more yourself and your brother. I don't get too much contact with your dad. I see him here and there. He comes in the blaze at the grand opening that comes in and hey, he just rocks up.
Where's the Uzo?
Like a superstar. But I'm sure he does a lot of work behind the scenes.
He is the hardest working one out of all of us.
Is he? I don't see much of the office. So what is he? Is he going around? What is
He's
he?
around,
He's
cleaning,
around?
touching, feeling, keeping the relationships with the franchisees, with the
Yeah.
store managers. Like if he sees something dirty, he'll get down on his knees and clean it.
Yeah, yeah,
He fucking keeps us humble and keeps us real.
yeah. Because I remember, like, I was speaking to Roy not long ago. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I had a big night. I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, we got a store opening, and I was there, connecting the pod system and the cameras and the this and the that. I'm like, what do you mean you? He's like, yeah, I like to go there myself.
We still do
and,
that.
and like, because other franchises that I work with, I know the owner doesn't even step foot. They just rock up. It's just
We're very
it's just a
hands-on.
money grab. And with Piccolo Me, I see that you guys go in. You're there the night before to 1 a.m, like, looking at the place, scoping it out, going, okay, how's this? Okay, what are we gonna do?
But I've
X, Y,
taken
Z.
it one step further. My kids now come help me set up stores. Like they're 10 and 8, and they're there unboxing, setting up, dishwashing, because they need to know how hard it is.
The $1 million question is, do you pay him?
Fuck no. I'm Lebo. I'm paying them with life lessons.
Mm.
Just because they get whatever they want at home,
Yes.
they need to understand where it comes from, and that
Yep.
a good hard honest day's work pays,
Yeah.
and that's super important to me. That's the lessons my dad gave me.
And delayed gratification, right? It's not all about getting a dollar now.
Yeah,
Do you want 1 cookie now or 2 cookies later?
that's right. And also, it's weird. I also play Monopoly with them, teach them about money and all those things. I don't think those are lessons that we got taught early.
Bro, I can see you building a hotel on Mayfair and just going, pay me.
Yeah. So my kids,
Yeah.
I destroy them.
Pay me.
Well, they need to learn.
Or we negotiate.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'd be
Nah.
the worst.
Nah, I fucking crush them.
It's the manipulation in the deal.
You know what? It's just lessons, small
Yeah.
lessons
Yep.
that I hope one day will pay dividends.
No, it's true. I mean, even as a kid, like you can have a soccer match and you'll learn a lesson, in that second half, 5 minutes in, and then you'll all of a sudden you're using that 20 years down the track in a business deal.
I still use lessons I've learned over the years in what I do.
What's one kind of lesson that you learned that it wasn't even in business,
The biggest
but it carried
lesson,
on?
the biggest lesson I learned: lies always catch up.
Yes.
I'd rather be honest and upfront, and you hate me from day one,
Yeah.
than me lie and sell you something that you didn't want.
Yeah.
Like generally, when a franchisee comes in and sees me, I'm like brutally honest. This is not easy. It's not always going to be rewarding. You're taking a big risk. I want to scare the shit out of them before they join.
Yeah. Expectation.
Because it's not easy. 1 minute you're running a store, and then or you're at home on the weekend with your kids, and then you're going to get a call at 4 a.m. that the chef's calling sick or the barista's calling sick. I want to prepare them for that.
Mm.
It's not. I think any business is not for everyone, not just cafes. But cafes even more because you're relying on a lot of human elements.
Yeah. But what I've picked up with yourself and Roy, and that is a trait. We work with hundreds of business owners and a lot of great people, and the individuals that move at velocity, that have that bit of anxiety. That anxiety is the love that they just go, push next.
We don't want to. We don't want to be left behind.
Go. And
And we are scared of failure.
we got Rachel, which off the back of it, we got to move quick. But pressure makes diamonds, I say. Pressure makes diamonds, and that's a testament to your success. Is the constant push. You got to stay relevant because people forget you.
Exactly, especially especially in our game.
Give it 6 months, people forget.
And we learned that very early on.
Yeah,
We were viral for such a long time, and for a long time, you think you're unfucking touchable. You think you are king shit, and you can just replicate it. And the truth is, it's not. Slow and sustained growth is better than just a quick hit.
yeah.
So my advice to anyone out there that's starting out hospitality or anything, and you've gone viral or you've done really well, don't get ahead of yourself,
Yeah.
because it doesn't last forever.
Mm. Very good. Well, off the back of that, you can look up Charlie El-Hachem. Your LinkedIn. How do you spell your last name again? Charlie
And Hashem, Hachem.
Hashem. I get it wrong every time.
Yep. That's
Check
all
out
right.
at Piccolo Me on Instagram. Share the love.
Yeah, please.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Thank you.
And where else can they look you up?
I mean, if they need my details, they can get them off you. But if you need any help, I'm here to help.
I'm gonna put his phone number on the bottom right there.
Yeah.
Everyone call him. All right.
Yeah. It's all good.
All right.
Thanks, man.
We're gonna cheers.
Thank you.
Last one.
My glass is
What
empty.
the
Can
hell,
you
bro?
try?
Dude, you've
Can
had
we-
like 3 glasses.
Can we choose on an empty glass?
No, you can't. It's
All right, let's skull it, but on this
Oh,
fucking
dude.
7-hour drinks.
Let's cheers. Oh, I had leg day.
Cheers, man.
Cheers,
Thank
man.
you very much.